Well, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in again to the wonderful world of Bob TV. Today, the hat of the day, you might have seen it already, is KJazz 88.1 FM. Go on your computer in Google. If you don't know what Google means, I don't know if people know what Google means or not, but I always say go on your computer and Google jazzandblues.org, and or if you don't know what Google means, go on your computer and do an internet search for jazzandblues.org. And it's a station I listen to a lot. I got this hat. I had to pay $88 for this hat because they are a nonprofit and they do pledge drives a couple times a year. So it's worth it. There's another stylist that I'll probably go ahead and pay for that. Let me get into, did a little research today. I want to bring a humor to the show, so I got a couple of jokes. I read a joke. I read two jokes that were funny, and it brought to mind a third joke that I'll tell as well. I hope everyone takes this with the humor that it is intended and doesn't get bent out of shape about this. But anyway, two nuns. That's right. Two nuns are driving down the road at night, late at night, through the forest, and a vampire jumps onto the hood of their car. So the nun that's driving the car looks over to the other nun and she says, "Show him your cross, so he'll get off the hood." So the nun who was in the passenger seat leans out of the car and says, "Get the fuck off our hood!" So, if I'm depraved, so be it. That reminded me of another joke where a priest moved into a pretty bad neighborhood. He's walking down the street and there's hookers everywhere, prostitutes. And each one he passes by says, "Blowjob, $5. $5 for a blowjob," but he doesn't know what a blowjob is. He gets back to the church, and he goes in where the nuns are having lunch. He asks the nuns. He says, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this or not, but I was walking down the street here, and these women kept telling me $5 for a blowjob. He says, "What's a blowjob?" The nuns look at him. They say, $5, just like anywhere else. And a man goes into we'll get off this comedy topic. Man goes into his kid's room. He looks in the corner. He says, "Junior, if you don't stop masturbating, you're going to go blind." The kid says, "Dad, I'm over here." All right, I got to put my glasses on because yesterday I told you about smiling faces, and I won't be able to read this otherwise. It's kind of dark here too. Well, smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. So anyway, we'll come back to this later. I got some quotes from the Buddha too. I worked in Hollywood, at the Hollywood station on, it was on Wilcox at Selma. And talking to a lady in there, we're talking about in LA there's no Chinese food. It's all Thai food. I said, "Wanda, what's the difference between Chinese food and Thai food?" She says, "Robert, it's all the same. It's all from the same guy." I said, "Yeah, and his name is Buddha." So how about a quote from Buddha? Let's see. "Chaos is inherent in all compounded things. Strive on with diligence." Yeah, that wasn't a good one. Here's a good one. "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." That goes along with what the motivational speaker was talking about, how he told the kids to put the cell phones away, and how they got in the workforce with their 3.8 or 4.0 grade average. We're going to get their heads taken off by the people that have been there for 20 years, who don't want them to steal, who don't want the kids to take the vacation to Disneyland away from the veteran employees. I kind of shot my wad here on with the jokes and with the quotes from Buddha. I didn't look too closely at it, and with the smiling faces. So all I can say is that I've been on the senior dating site. People that I sent messages, I've been on it for about 2.5, 3 weeks. People I sent messages to 2 or 3 weeks ago periodically their face will show up on my list of people who have viewed me, but they won't send a picture to me. There's a lady on there who goes by the screen name of Alta Lisa. Looks like a Chinese lady. There's a picture of her sitting down. Well, first of all, there's a picture of her standing in front of a Ferris wheel. And I wrote to her that she looks like she's a character from a James Bond movie. I don't know if she knows who James Bond is. And then there's a picture of her sitting in a chair, looking alluring, with her legs crossed. And I said, looking at that picture of you sitting in that chair with your legs crossed, made me want to uncross those legs. So I don't know what these people are looking for from a man, I guess. Divorced women with 5 paragraphs. I sent a message to a lawyer. She had about 2 paragraphs about who she was and what a fun-loving gal she was, and she was special. And then there was about 2 paragraphs about what she was looking for in a man. Then there was a paragraph. There's a final paragraph. I just like to add. Well, actually, it's a section called "I just like to add." And she had another paragraph. She had about 5 paragraphs on there. So I sent her a message. I said, I sent a message to another lawyer. I asked her a couple of questions, and I asked that she not be non-responsive to the questions. That's something that a lawyer or an attorney would understand. Being non-responsive to the questions indicates that to the jury that they should draw an adverse conclusion from the fact that you won't answer the questions. Anyway, no response from her. Sent her a nice letter. No response. Her name was La La Blue. So the first sentence in the letter was La 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 means what? Now going back to the 60s, that's the song. La 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 means I love you. So anyway, I see her in the chat a couple times. I try to engage her in a conversation. Another week goes by, nothing happens. Finally, for some reason, I got her to respond. It was a 2-word answer that said, not interested. So I said, oh, okay, not interested, huh? So I wrote her a nice response. A couple of things. I said it's too bad that her kid has to grow up with a mommy-daddy instead of a father and a mother. And I can't remember. I said a couple of choice lines. I don't remember exactly what I said. I can go back and look and report back to you. So I get like 2 minutes later, I get a response back from her. Fuck you! You're a whack job! I'm cutting off contact! This is a lawyer, a professional person that resorts to profanity and name-calling. So definitely don't want to hook up with La La Blue for your attorney. I got about another week or 10 days to go on the senior side, and I'll be off of it. I've had the problem with the video and the audio syncing together. On the internet, there's a lot of problems with that. Haven't quite come to a solution yet. But I will say that if you watch it on Facebook, it's not too bad, as I recall. Yesterday I shot the video at a lower resolution because I thought maybe that would help. I read that as a tip. That didn't work at all. So I'm back on high definition now, HD. The Real Bob TV on high definition YouTube. Too bad I can't get the audio and the video to sync, though. So just watch them on Facebook until I get that straightened out. Let me say that talked about the weather on my Friends of Bob page, where I want to do jokes and quotes. I did a couple of those today. I want to do the weather. Apparently there's 12 inches. I mentioned yesterday or the day before that it's been the mildest winter that I ever recall. Now I hear there's supposed to be 12 inches of snow tomorrow. And you might remember I mentioned a day or two ago that although it has been mild, that next week it could be 20 below zero with snow up to my ass. So anyway, let me sign off now and say the head of the day, KJazz, 88.1 FM, jazzandblues.org. And Smiling Faces pretend to be your friend. Yeah, I am, in most cases, I'll be your friend. No problem with that. But remember that Smiling Faces tell lies. And they got proof. It was I don't know if you're supposed to end this thing, but, I'm going green, so I printed this on. I printed Buddha on one side and the Smiling Faces song on the other side of 2 sheets of paper. But it's from the Undisputed Truth. Smiling Faces sometimes tell lies. Good night, everybody. Signing off now. Tune in again tomorrow for another exciting edition of The Real Bob TV.